People make tons of money off music, but if you don't know the different ways how to, then it can seem almost impossible. That's why I'm going to break down what I feel are the 3 main ways to make money off music, so then you can take the ideas and use them for yourself. Now the first one I'm going to break down, it might seem very obvious, but it's actually music itself. Now I know a lot of people talk about how little streaming platforms pay and how many streams you need to actually get to make a little bit of money. Making music is more accessible than ever, so it makes it a lot cheaper to actually make music and put it out. Before you would need like a ton of expensive equipment, you'd really need to know the software, but now you can literally make songs on Apple earphones and record it on free software like BandLab, and you can do decent streams out of that. And you might think that's not true, but I do know people personally that have done over 1 million streams doing that method, so it's definitely doable. Now you might be wondering how much the streams actually pay. A general rule that I have in my head is about 1 million streams on Spotify equals about £3,500 or $4,000. Now you might be thinking that's a really hard amount of streams to get, but what you've got to think is you can hit that amount of streams off multiple songs. You don't have to get 1 mil on one song. I always say to people now that if I were just starting out, I'd aim to put out a song a week. That way, by the end of the year, you'd have 52 songs out, and if each one of them hit 20,000 streams, then you'd be hitting over 1 million streams. And if each one of those songs continued to get 20,000 streams each month, then you'd be hitting over 1 million streams every month, which would mean you'd be earning over £3,500 every single month just from streaming. And that's only including Spotify. There's also Apple Music they'd be paying too, there'd be SoundCloud, there'd be YouTube Music, all adding up together to pay you each month. Another way you can earn money from the music you've been making and putting out is by record labels buying your tunes out, or maybe even signing them before they're out. A lot of people think that once a song's out, it's never going to get signed, but that's not the case. You could release a tune independently and get it signed later down the line. I've had offers for songs that I put out 2 years ago and they're wanting to buy them now, so a song can really get signed at any time. Just to give you an idea of what some of these labels might be offering is I got offered £20,000 for one of my songs for them to buy all the rights to it. I didn't end up going for it in the end because I preferred the song paying me each month, and when I worked it out over a number of years, the song would earn me more each month rather than taking that check up front. But that might be the better option for some people. But I just wanted to let you know what sort of money these labels might offer, but also make sure it's the right choice if you do decide to go for it. Another way that your music can pay you is through PRS. PRS is basically collects music royalties for you, so if your song is performed, or it's played in a venue, or it's played on radio, or it's used on an advert, all these different ways that your music can get used, PRS will collect that for you and pay it out 4 times a year. This can be really good if you're a rapper and you're performing your songs at venues all the time, because you can tell PRS that you perform them songs and they will pay you extra on top of whatever you got for performing that night as well. That takes me on to the second main way to earn money from music, which is live performances. If you're a producer, you might want to start DJing. Clubs often offer weekly residencies to DJs where they're playing all night for like £200 a night. Getting a residency can be a really good way of getting a consistent income each week. If you built your name up as a producer, then DJing can be really good. You can get paid like over £200 just for a 1 hour slot rather than doing all night. If you've got an audience and people will come to see just you, then clubs will want that and ask you to play. This is similar for if you're a rapper as well, or a music artist, and you can get booked as well after you've built your name up a bit. Club promoters and stuff will want to book you for their club nights, and you can get paid a pretty decent fee of like £200 to £300 for someone who's a little bit established. And obviously you can get paid a lot more. It just depends on how much you build your audience up. Another thing to think about as well, if you're not a performer yourself, then you could think about putting these events on your own. If you're a producer, for example, and you know a lot of rappers, you could put your own club night on and book all these rappers that you know and sell tickets and take profits that way. It's also a great way to build up your brand, and it offers a lot of networking opportunities for people to come to you and get talking to them. Now moving on to the third and final way is services. So what I mean when I say services is I mean a customer coming to you and paying you to do something for their song basically. So if you're a rapper, that could be like a feature verse. If you're a producer, it could be making them a beat. Or if you know how to engineer, then it could be recording their vocals for their song, as well as mixing and mastering it. But I feel like if you're a producer or a rapper, these are skills that you pick up along the way of doing your own projects, and then eventually when you get good at them, you can charge other people for your same skills but to work on their songs. If you're a producer and you want to sell beats, then I'd really recommend getting yourself on BeatStars and starting a YouTube channel. Start posting beats up there and selling them. If you're a rapper, unfortunately, I think it's a bit harder to get paid to jump on people's songs unless you're super established. I don't think people would want to pay, but maybe you could do feature verses for percentages, and that way you can get paid off the streaming royalties, which is another good way just to up your numbers on that side. I think both rappers and producers should learn how to record. It can be super useful for either of you. Rappers can be learning to record at home and save a ton of money that way on studio time, recording and mixing and mastering. If you can do it all yourself, then you'll save loads of money and it'll make it easier to get music out. If you're a producer and you want to work with rappers or singers or anything like that, then you're going to need to learn how to record, otherwise it could cost you a lot of money as well, having to pay someone else to do that. It's just a lot easier if you can do it all yourself. If you'd like any more help from me to earn money from your music, then I've just started a mentorship program. The link for the application is in the description. If you want to fill that out, then we can start working together on boosting your income from music. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like and hit the subscribe for more. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.